Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. Great to be here with you to the start to our Cabral HouseCalls, the first show of the weekend. We'll be answering our community's questions here each and every weekend. We get to about a dozen of our community's questions, and of course, they are answered in the order they come in. So excited to open up that document, that big Ask Cabral HouseCalls document. That's what I'm opening up right now. Again, I just want to give a shout out to my team. They do such an amazing job behind the scenes, gathering all of these questions from our forum over at stephencabral.com/Ask Cabral. And just to reiterate, it is about a 6-week lead time to get your question answered. The more questions that come in, the longer it takes to answer it, because we answer about 12 every single weekend. But of course, never forget, you can get your question answered every single day at cabralsupportgroup.com, mainly Monday through Friday. Michelle does an amazing job answering your questions over there and pointing you to the right podcast for you. Because after 2,142 podcasts, today's 2,143, I've most likely answered your question. That's the truth. We've covered most topics. And so we usually point you back towards that. If you missed it, if you weren't able to search it at stephencabral.com/podcasts. But also, if we didn't, okay, now's a great opportunity to, of course, bring that up and ask it on and Ask Cabral. All right, so let's get into the questions. That's what we're here for. Today's episode 2143. If you want to follow along, head on over to stephencabral.com/2143. All right, first question. Just opened it up. Let's see. First one's called Anonymous. Anonymous is asking, "Hi, Doc. Words cannot describe how grateful I am that I found a few years ago. You have helped me in so many ways and still are. I have a question about HSPs, or highly sensitive persons. I'm one of them. However, I'm not balanced yet in my mind and body. So my question would be, is there an underlying physical root cause behind the reason people become highly sensitive persons? Is it something that will go away after rebalancing the body and mind? I don't talk for other highly sensitive persons, but at least in myself, I can see patterns of autism spectrum disorder. Is there a connection between HSPs and ASD? I would love to hear your viewpoint of this specific topic." Yeah, 100%. I mean, without a doubt, Ayurvedics talked about this for 6,000 years. There's always been people that are much more highly sensitive, and it's called the Vata body type, or a Vata disturbance. So essentially, any body type can actually be in a Vata-based state. It doesn't mean it's their genotype, meaning it's not how they were born. They weren't necessarily born Vata, but they can have a Vata-based disorder. So how does it come about? Well, literally, I wrote the book on specifically this, overflowing your rain barrel, okay? So think of it this way. I'll give you a really easy analogy. One person is all of a sudden, doing fine in life. They're going about their life. Well, let's bring it to a real scenario. Me, my senior year of high school, right? So, I'm playing a sport every single season. I'm doing well in school. I've got great relationships and friends and all of those things. But behind the scenes, what's happening? Well, I'm taking antibiotics every single day for some mild acne that my dermatologist gave me. So I'm taking antibiotics every single day, and I've been doing that since the age of 14. So now I'm 17 years old. So I've taken thousands of capsules of amoxicillin, and I was doing that through childhood. I've got seasonal allergies. I'm not eating that well. I'm drinking iced tea with lots of sugar in it after school. I'm buying pizza with my friends, all sorts of things I have food sensitivities for happening behind the scenes. And then all of a sudden, senior year comes. All of a sudden, now I'm the oldest of my family. I'm going to be moving away from everything I know, right, out of state. I'm trying to get the absolute best grades I can to get into college, get a scholarship. I'm trying to ace my SATs. All these different stressors. I'm now working my first job to be able to pay to go away to college. All of these stressors are building. And then all of a sudden, what happens? Well, my body actually breaks. My immune system becomes dysfunctional. I get Addison's disease, and now everything is bothering me. I get colds at the slightest, it's too cold out, it's too hot out, my eyes are itchy, my nose is running, I get hives, I'm anxious, I can't sleep at night. I'm a highly sensitive person. Why is that? Well, one is I have a predisposition to it, right? More of my body type. However, I was balanced. I was okay. I didn't overflow my rain barrel. So for highly sensitive people, there is a way out. And that is to begin to empty your rain barrel from stress. It's neurological stress, but things cause that, right? Your gut, right? Your gut has its own brain. The enteric nervous system is talking to your brain. Make sure your gut's balanced. So the best thing you can do to just make it as simple as possible is run the Big 5 labs. That's it. You run the Big 5 labs. You find out if you're low in B vitamins, which help fight stress. You find out if you're low in vitamin C, low in zinc. You need those for stress, right? So that's really important. Make sure you're getting enough food, that you're not fasting too long if you're a highly sensitive person. All these things matter, that you're getting enough sleep, that you're tracking your sleep, that you get enough deep sleep and REM sleep. All the things that I teach, and I know that you're following along with those things. The connection to autism is interesting because it's true. Autistic children, as well as those, the entire ASD spectrum, Asperger's included, and executive functioning disorder, I can name so many, are all more sensitive. And that's typically because they have gut dysbiosis. They have an imbalance in their gut. They have lots of inflammation. They often have heavy metals. You need to fix those. We work with autistic children as well, and so do a lot of our integrative health practitioners. So these are all things that can be worked on. You'll always have a predisposition to that, but that doesn't mean you can't be balanced. Like, for example, I'm a very balanced individual right now, and I was able to do that, and I have no doubt that you can as well. All right. Next question's from another anonymous. Hi, Doc. I'm an IHP level 1 and level 2 certified. I did all the labs and protocols accordingly and maintain a healthy routine based on the de-stress protocol. I was doing very well until I traveled to South America and started experiencing a lot of anxiety. The anxiety is worse after I eat, especially breakfast. I'm not sure what happened. The breakfast didn't change as I took all of the ingredients from home except oats, which I bought local gluten-free oats, and my supplement protocol remained the same. I even stopped all supplements to see if it would change anything, but anxiety, especially heart palpitations, is still very much present. And as I said, gets very bad after meals. I didn't have this before traveling, and I'm not experiencing any digestive issues whatsoever. No bloating, gas, pain, nothing. It's just the shortness of breath, heart palpitations that is driving me insane. I've been eating the same breakfast for ages. No issues. Maybe I developed an allergy all of a sudden. If it isn't a food allergy, what could it be? I also get it after lunch, not as bad as breakfast though. Dinner is less, but still present. Okay, so I'm just thinking, again, I don't prepare for any of these questions. I'm thinking first, autonomic nervous system imbalance. So an imbalance when you go to eat, you're trying to turn off the sympathetic nervous system and turn on the parasympathetic. However, if you're eating and still in the sympathetic nervous system, your body doesn't know if it's supposed to be foot on the brake, right? Calming the body for digestion, or if it's supposed to be go, go, go for life. So you want to look at autonomic nervous system dysfunction. I would run the thyroid adrenal hormone for IHP level 2s know it as that. It's called the stress, mood, and metabolism over at Equilife. All the labs can be found today at stephencabral.com/labs. So if I recommend labs, that is where they are. Let's see. But the other case is this, that you might have gotten H. pylori, which is super prevalent in South America. So, I mean, it's amazing. More than a third of the people just in Peru have H. pylori, Helicobacter pylori. So if you have not run the bacteria and parasite stool test, I would run that as well. So that's a big thing, no doubt about it. I would start there, and then I would listen to my podcast on how to create or a rotation diet, okay? So listen to my podcast on that too, so that you can rotate meals to see which meals are worse, all right? Anonymous is up. Hi, Doc. Me again. Forgot to mention that when this anxiety started, I've been having a lot of random body twitches and been very sensitive to external sounds. Funnily enough, it gets better when I'm around people and having conversation. So basically, whenever I'm distracted. It gets really bad when I'm by myself. For example, when I'm on my laptop and focused on something. Would you say that this could be a symptom of anxiety? Have you ever come across someone having these twitches from anxiety, or could this be something more serious? Yeah, this is, I didn't even read this because again, I just go as the questions come and I give you what comes to mind based on 20 plus years of experience. Yeah, this sounds like autonomic nervous system dysfunction. This sounds like a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress on the HPA axis, hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal axis, and we want to work on this. Now, I don't know the underlying root cause of this. It can be life, it can be GI based, it can be inflammation in the body, it can be, the overall stress. So I'm definitely recommending at least the stress hormones, mood and metabolism test, and the bacteria and parasite test, and ideally the candida metabolic and vitamins test, and the minerals and metals test, and the omega-3. I mean, honestly, it depends on. So if the finances aren't an issue, again, we do our best to get you the lab price at the lowest price, and they all come with a consultation. Even if you're an IHP level 2, it doesn't hurt to get a second opinion. I love a second opinion. Why wouldn't you? So that's how I look at it. 100%. I'd run the big 5. I really would. I'd run the big 5. No doubt about it. StephenCabral.com/big5. Okay. Anthony's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'd be remiss if I didn't thank you for doing what you do. So thank you. Thanks, Anthony. Appreciate that. On to my question, but first, a little background. I'm a registered nurse, new. Just started working from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., 3 days a week. The days vary. I'm married with 2 children, and I suspect I'll be on a day schedule during my days off. Besides ensuring good sleep hygiene and optimal nutrition, what are some of the actions I can take to ensure proper sleep and switch between days and nights? For instance, when trying to sleep after working nights, should I use your sleep supplements before bed, even though it'll be around 8:30 a.m.? Any suggestions are greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time and consideration on my question. Cheers, Anthony. Yeah, Anthony, I totally understand what you're saying. I've worked with so many firefighters and so many doctors and nurses and people that work the overnight shift, even research scientists that are basically at these labs working 24 hours a day. So I get it. I totally understand. Anybody working overnights, you just need to recreate your night to the best of your ability, even if it's at 8:30, 9 a.m. in the morning. Because here's the thing. One of the most detrimental things of working the night shift is not producing melatonin. It's one of the most detrimental things. And then you have cortisol going 24 hours a day. Burns out brain cells, burns out neurotic synapses, meaning the nervous system. And it's not good. So what do we need to do? Well, turn off for 8 hours, even if it's from 8:30 a.m. to, what would that be, 4:30 p.m., right? So, that's what you do to the best of your ability. And the way that you do that is with then supplemental, I recommend the liquid melatonin because I've seen it works the best, magnesium, and then I would use a product called Adrenal Soothe, 2 to 3 capsules. And the reason is that has phosphatidylserine that will knock down those cortisol levels. But then when you wake up at 4:30 p.m., you'll need to actually use a wake light. And it's inexpensive. You can just buy, not a wake light, apologies. You can use a wake light for sure, the same one that I use for that alarm clock, but you'll want to get what is it called? A light box. There we go. It's called a light box. And basically what it does is it simulates sunlight, right? Because you're going to be getting 4:30 p.m. sun, and that's the setting sun. So you want bright sun for the morning. Now, is this ideal? It's not ideal, but hopefully you're new, right? So eventually you'll have seniority, and then you can do a day shift because you don't want to be working overnight if you don't have to. All right. Hopefully that helps, Anthony. Gemma is up next. Gemma. Gemma? All right. Hi. Each time I have done a detox at a health retreat, I get excruciating painful cramps in my hamstrings and sometimes my lower back too. Nothing seems to help them unless it's paracetamol. I believe that's how you pronounce that drug, which I have only taken if I needed to get some sleep. I'm wondering what might be causing the cramping, and how can I avoid it for my first Dr. Wall detox, which I'm starting soon. And if they do come back, any suggestions you might have for treating the pain? Many thanks. Okay. Well, whenever I see the word treat, this is a nice time for me to say that I do not provide any medical treatments, any medical advice, any cures. What I do is I help people get to the underlying root cause of their wellness, weight loss, or anti-aging based issues. Okay. So first of all, the Dr. Wall detox is most likely 99.99% chance that it's not going to cause these, because the detoxes that you're doing at a retreat are probably going to be more chelation based if you're getting these cramps, or maybe just juicing based, or I don't know, water fasting, because it sounds to me like you're getting painful cramps because of electrolyte imbalance. Again, I don't know because I have no idea. Again, a detox is so random. Is it a juice detox? Is it intestinal cleanse, which they're calling detox? Is it a T detox? Is it a chelation-based protocol? Honestly, the word detox is thrown around like paleo. Who even knows what it means anymore? So all I can tell you is the Equilife detox that I've been doing now for a decade with people is just completely different. I don't see that happening because it's already built in with electrolytes. I mean, again, I've been doing this for so long and working with so many people. We know what they need, right? So every day in that daily nutritional support shake, which is part of the detox, you're getting those electrolytes. I'd find it hard to believe if it does happen. Again, it's always possible. So I always leave, that's a possibility, ourselves open to it. But I would then add in additional lime, squeeze fresh lime or lemon into water, or some extra sea salt. If it's an electrolyte issue, that would then the potassium and the sodium would help with this cramping. And then you could also add magnesium as well. And you can just use full spectrum magnesium, or you can use magnesium powder, and that would be fine. All of those are available at stevencabral.com/shop, and then just use the little search tab over at Equilife, okay? So Gemma, we'll help you through this no matter what. Post your questions inside of cabralsupportgroup.com. Remember, I don't get these until 6 weeks later. So, same day, go ahead and just post it right inside there. And, we're here to help. I mean, that's what it's all about, honestly. We're here to help. So let us know how we can help. All right, Lisa's up. Hello, love your podcast and everything you do for the community. My father is in his late 50s and has been diagnosed with MDS. He found out through a routine blood test and then subsequent bone marrow test, and he was shocked to learn he has MDS. As he feels, well, what are his options moving forward? What would you recommend? The doctors have put him on injections every 3 weeks to boost his red blood cell counts. Okay. I totally understand where you're coming from. MDS, which is myelodysplastic syndrome, I believe. Let's say that's how we pronounce it. And basically what is happening is that there's a lack of red blood cell production, right? So that there's an issue with the actual bone marrow. Now, I can tell you from a natural perspective, there's things that get into genetics, like with the JAK2 mutation, things like that. You didn't state that, so it probably doesn't have anything to do with it. But you want to look at it in a few different ways. There is some type of, most likely if it's coming out now, that there's something built up in the body, right? Kind of like that rain barrel effect. A lot of inflammation, autoimmune issues, gut issues, heavy metals, viral load, you name it, causing this disruption. It can be a lack of B12. It can be a lack of folate. It could be a lack of copper or zinc. It could be a lack of calcium or magnesium and vitamin C. All of those are needed to build up the red blood cells, and iron as well. But we never supplement with iron for postmenopausal or men unless we know they have low levels. So of course we want to check that. And I'm sure your doctor or his doctor ran not just TIBC for iron, which is really important that you don't run just that. You want to run it, but not just that. But you also want to look at saturation rate, and you want to look at ferritin levels, okay? That's going to give you a much better indicator. So if all those are good, then you're feeling pretty good. And what you want to do now is have a blend between conventional medicine and natural health. So what I recommend is working with your medical doctor and specialists, while at the same time, in my opinion, I would run the Big 5 labs. And the Big 5 labs are going to give you the biggest and best assessment of your overall health. It's going to look at omega-3 to omega-6s for inflammation, heavy metals, and overall minerals in the body. It's going to look at gut function, electrolyte function. I mentioned that, your vitamin levels, mineral levels, very, very important. And so, whenever there's an actual health issue, you run the Big 5. And for everyone else, you want to run it so that you don't hopefully have a big health issue, right? So that's why both people, I recommend all people run it. I really do. And if you can't afford it, I understand. You want to start with the starter kit then, okay? So stevencabral.com/labs. stevencabral.com/big 5 or stevencabral.com/starter-kit, and you'll be able to look through those. Again, you can run them with us over at Equilife, or you can also find a local naturopathic doctor or integrative health practitioner level 2 that can help you with this as well. So again, I'm here to help. You just let me know how we can, and that's what we're all about. So that was our 6 questions today. Hopefully it was helpful. I appreciate everyone writing in. I thank you so much again for your support. Always feel free to share the show. And if you haven't left a review yet for the Cabral Concept, I would love for you to do that. Spotify, iTunes, wherever. It would be fantastic. And the same for the Rain Barrel Effect. If you haven't reviewed the Rain Barrel Effect on Amazon, I would love for you to do that. So thanks so much. Take care. Have an amazing day. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show and a big announcement we have for you. That is January 10th. January 10th is our next community detox. That means people all over the world, thousands of people all over the world. Our goal is 10,000 this January 10th, completing the EcoLife Detox. That is a functional medicine detox that is going to help you with your overall wellness, get you deeper into autophagy, right? Such an important thing that many of us are hearing about and needing to take advantage of. It's going to help with overall healthy levels of blood sugar, healthy levels of inflammation, healthy levels of balancing hormones, and so much more. So whether you're looking to transform your overall health, your body transformation, weight loss, anti-aging is going to help you with that. If you only do one thing, I'm telling you right now, if you only do one thing to kickstart your 2022, it is the 7, 14, or 21-day detox. Choose the 21-day detox if you're dealing with wellness issues, weight gain issues, or aging-based issues, and if you've never done a functional medicine detox before, which is not a cleanse, it's not teas, it's not juices, it's not any of those things. I don't have a problem with those things, but they are not functional medicine detoxes, which is completely different. And if you've already been doing your functional medicine detoxes, well, then join us for a 7-day detox this January 10th. We will be posting every single day inside of our community support group at cabralsupportgroup.com. Completely free. We'll be cheering you along, providing support, answering your questions. Thousands of people complete this, and we hope you do too. But right now, you can actually get a 7-day detox completely free. It is buy 3, get 1 free. That saves you $99. That means you could join with 3 other friends, 4 other friends, and each save $25, or buy 3, get 1 free, and use them each quarter for 2022. Because if you're following the naturopathic and the Ayurvedic way of detoxing with each season for overall robust health and wellness and body transformation and aging, this is the way to do it. So you can stock up on your entire year's worth and actually get 1 free. So now you have one for January, the beginning of April, beginning of July, and mid-September. Save $99. Head on over to stevencabral.com/shop. That will take you over to the EcoLife site, or go directly to the detox page. Head on over to stevencabral.com/detox to save $99 while supplies last.